Alleged serial killer Jesse Lee Calhoun is now accused of killing a fourth
Indicted
woman.
Jesse Calhoun
Officials in
for the
Multnomah
November
County,
20th,
Oregon, announced on Tuesday.
2022
A grand
murder
jury has
of
indicted
Krisin Smith.
Calhoun for the November 20th,
As you may know,
2022 murder
Mr.
of
Calhoun is
Krisin
already
Smith,
charged
who was
with
22 when she
murdering
died.
Charity Perry,
During the press
Joanna
conference, Krisin
Speaks,
Smith's
and
mother,
Bridget
Melissa
Webster,
Smith,
between
said
the
she
dates
was
of March and
overwhelmed
April
with emotion.
of 2023.
A brief history of
This
serial killers
indictment
in Oregon.
adds 2 additional
I
counts:
stayed strong doing
murder in the
all I
second
could,
degree
trying to save my
and
daughter,
abuse
Melissa
of
said.
a corpse in the second
And it
degree.
was just unbearable to find out it was
I
too
am
late and
joined
needed help
here
finding her.
today
And I did
by Krisin
everything I
Smith's
could to
mother
try to
and
get
grandmother,
answers and fight and
as
search.
well as
Melissa
her
credited her
sister
friends and family
and
for continuing to keep
family
Kristen's
members
memory
of the other
alive as she
victims
searched
as
for
well.
answers. She also thanked the other victims, families, and
Today,
detectives for their
we
help in
also
seeking
have with
justice in the
us
case.
from the Portland
Calhoun was
Police,
previously accused of
we
murdering
have
3
Sergeant Kim
women,
Hubbard
Charity Lynn
and,
Perry,
I believe,
Joanna Speaks, and
Detective
Bridget
Jeff
Leanne
Pontius,
Webster, after their
some of our
bodies were
lead
discovered in
investigators on this
Oregon and
matter.
Washington 2 years
For
ago.
the District
In
Attorney's
April
Office,
2023, Speaks'
our
body was
office has
found
been
at an
represented by
abandoned
and will
barn in
continue
Ridgefield,
to work
Washington.
on this case.
A
Senior
few weeks
Deputy DA
later,
Melissa
Perry's
Marrero,
body was found near
Chief
Ainsworth
Deputy
State
DA
Park
Todd
in East
Jackson,
Multnomah
and Deputy
County,
DA Charlie
and just
Weiss.
days after that,
This remains
Webster's
a
body was
very
discovered
active
near Mill Creek
investigation,
in
and
Polk
unfortunately, we're
County.
not going to
In
be
May of
discussing
2024,
the
Calhoun
evidence
was
underlying the
indicted for the
charges today.
murders, as he was
The
already in
assigned
custody at the
prosecutors
time
have
for
had
parole
ongoing
violations.
and continued
Previously,
contact
Calhoun
with the
had been
family
in
throughout
prison
this
after he was
investigation,
charged with 3 counts of
and
unauthorized use of a
we've worked
vehicle,
hard to
assaulting
make
a public
sure
safety
and ensure
officer,
that
and
this case
first-degree
was
burglary.
being actively worked. And the announcement today of this indictment, it's a very important and visible step for this path as we seek justice for these victims. I want to take this opportunity to thank Portland Police Bureau, specifically Detective Pontius and Detective Stephen Gandy, also the Multnomah County, Clackamas County, and Washington County Sheriff's Office, including their search and rescue teams who did extensive work on this. The Medical Examiner's Office has also contributed greatly, as well as the Gresham Police Department, the East Major Crimes Team, the Oregon State Crime Lab, and the FBI for their tireless work to bring forth justice for Krisin Smith. Hopefully by that list you can understand that this has been a huge team effort by this community to bring forth justice. I also want to thank the many members of these various agencies that have overall contributed to the investigation of the deaths of each of these women. This has been a difficult process for the families, but we are dedicated to pressing forward to obtain justice for these victims and for their families. I'm going to be turning over in a minute. I know that that Krisin Smith's mother would like to make some comments. I'm going to have her come up if she'd like to at this time. And then we'll probably also be hearing from Senior Deputy Melissa Marrero and from Sergeant Kim Hubbard.
Thank you. As a lot of you may know, this is my other daughter, Haley, that's been right there beside me this whole nightmare of a roller coaster. But I'm sorry, I'm really overwhelmed with emotion. I stayed strong, doing all I could, trying to save my daughter. And it was just unbearable to find out I was too late and needed help finding her, and I did everything I could to try to get answers and fight and search, and I couldn't have done any of that or survived each day if it wasn't for my family, if it wasn't for my daughter, and without my friends. Friends that didn't care where we were going or what we were doing. We just went and we were searching, hanging flyers, everything. I want to thank everybody for all the support and love and keeping Kristen's name and memory alive and not forgotten. I thank the other victims' families for staying by my side the whole way. We searched together, we fought together, and we never gave up. And to still stay by my side, even after Jesse Calhoun was indicted for your three loved ones. And Kristen wasn't. You're here with me today. I also personally cannot thank Detective Jeff Pontius, my homicide detective, and Steve Gandy for truly caring about my daughter's case and not giving up and promising me they're going to do everything they can and they're not going to give up. And I was ornery and feisty at the beginning and wasn't very sure how that was going to go, but he stayed true to it, and I'm forever grateful, and he's an amazing detective. I can't thank the DA, Melissa Marrero, and Todd Jackson enough. You guys have worked so hard on this difficult case, especially Kristen's case. Difficult. Plus, you dealt with my stubborn butt through my good days and my bad, my good emotions and my bad. It's been a long, agonizing 898 days since the day I found out Krisin Smith was deceased. Then on May 17th, 2024, last year, the police made their statement that Jesse Calhoun was being indicted for the 3 of the 5 girls. I can't explain the agonizing pain I felt that day, that Kristen was not one of those girls. I stood strong with the other families and was happy they got their answers. I prayed every day this day would come for me, for us. It's been 445 days since the first indictment of the 3 girls.
In 2021, then Oregon Governor Kate Brown signed a commutation to provide clemency for certain prisoners, and Calhoun met the criteria, so he was released. The clemency was later revoked by Governor Tina Kotek in 2023. Calhoun pleaded not guilty to the murders in June 2024. Calhoun has also been named as a person of interest in the death of Ashley Reel, 22, though he has not been indicted in that case. Every single person who never forgot about these 5 women, our family, our angels, they're all taken too soon, Melissa said. Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez said he's determined to work with Clackamas County investigators on the ongoing Reel case. That is an extremely important case to us, one that is currently under investigation, Vasquez said. Watch the Multnomah County DA's entire press conference below. Diana Allen, the mother of Charity Perry, one of Calhoun's alleged victims, shared a message for others still searching for answers. "Don't give up hope. It hurts so bad, but it's so precious. You cannot let it go," she said. A trial is expected to occur in 2027. Until then, the DA's office said they still have a lot of work to do on the case. New indictment. Prosecutors recently announced that Calhoun has been indicted on charges that he murdered a 4th woman, 22-year-old Krisin Smith. Victim details. Smith was killed around November 20th, 2022, and her partial remains were discovered in February 2023. Ongoing investigation. Authorities have not ruled out the possibility of Calhoun being involved in the death of a 5th woman, Ashley Reel, whose body was also found in early 2023. It's important to note that the investigation is ongoing, and many details surrounding these cases have not been released by authorities, including the specific causes of death for most of the victims and the motive behind the killings. A Multnomah County grand jury has indicted suspected murderer Jesse Calhoun for the killing of a 4th woman. The 4th victim was identified as Krisin Smith, who is believed to have been killed in November 2022. Smith was first reported missing in December 2022. Her body was found on February 19, 2023. The new indictment adds 2 new charges against Calhoun, one for second-degree murder and one for second-degree abuse of a corpse, according to Multnomah County District Attorney Nathan Vasquez. Melissa Smith, Krisin Smith's mother, said she was overwhelmed with emotion. "I've always stayed hopeful that I would get justice for Kristen," she said at the news conference. "I thank every single person who didn't give up on this case." Calhoun was arrested in June 2023 on unrelated parole warrants and indicted on 3 murder charges in May 2024 in connection with the deaths of Charity Lynn Perry, Joanna Speaks, and Bridget Leanne Webster. The 2024 indictment detailed how the women were allegedly killed and when their bodies were dumped. Calhoun has pleaded not guilty to the crimes. Smith's family told KATU it was a relief to learn Calhoun would be indicted in this case. His trial isn't set to take place until 2027. Prosecutors have not said what new evidence allowed them to file new charges against Calhoun. He remains behind bars at Multnomah County's Inverness Jail. The families of the 4 victims expressed sympathy and support for the family of a 5th woman, 22-year-old Ashley Reel, whose remains were found in April of 2023. Calhoun is deemed a person of interest in that case. They know that I'm right alongside of them. They are a part of this murder family, what we call each other, unfortunately. We do everything we can to keep in touch and let them know that we're there for them. We support them. We're willing to stand beside them and help with anything we can, Smith said. When asked about the possibility of a plea deal versus going to trial, Smith said she hoped for a trial because it will help shed light on the case for the public and for the victims' families. I think the trial would be good because we hope that Jesse Calhoun, if he has any heart and soul in him at all, will give us the least he could give us the respect to tell us why. Why our girls? How? Just tell us. Be a man. You did the crime. Own it, Smith said. Other victims' family members pointed out that they may be okay with a plea deal if Calhoun names other potential victims, thus providing justice to more potential families.
You're saying Jesse used to lure dudes at a truck stop?
Him and Shauna.
I just started recording.
Yeah, Shauna would like leave her phone open, or Jesse had an account. I don't know, but they would talk to dudes online, like her being like a hooker kind of thing, and they'd lure dudes down to the truck stop. They'd meet up with them, and either they'd fuck them and rob them, or whatever. I don't know the exact details because we never got into that. Because I didn't want to know about it. That's like their thing, and I figured, Jesse's like trying to get on dudes. I didn't want to know, but toward the end, he was doing stupid shit, and it was catching up with him, and I knew it was going to catch up with him.
So you think he went back to jail on purpose just so he could be like in relationships with men?
Gay for the stay.
You think maybe like
With men, I really do. Jesse never talked about what he was in prison. Now I know some badass motherfuckers out here on the streets that are straight and have beautiful bitches. When they go inside, they're gay for the stay. There's a dude named Gio. He's got a drop-dead gorgeous girlfriend out here. He goes to jail. He twists the shirt up, puts the lipstick on, and acts all, hey. And literally will beat a dude down, like, acting like a bitch. But when he gets out here, he is not about it. He doesn't show it. You wouldn't even guess it. Like, I know several guys like that. That it's just sick and fucking wrong, but the way they do it, when they're in there, they are flamers. And I think Jesse went as they were broke and needed money, and so he pimped Shauna out. And I think it became more of a thing of like he'd sit there and watch or join or whatever. And I know sometimes it was just straight up about robbing somebody, whatever. But he was a female, and that Shauna would never like really talk to anybody.
This is the location where Krisin Smith and the other 4 women were taken by Jesse Calhoun and murdered. This area is isolated and has many different areas associated with the properties. He was concealed by the brush and other obstacles to do what he did to these females.
Man who was let out of prison early because he was fighting wildfires, and the former governor let him out of prison early. There are so many disturbing components to this case. I'm looking into it for this edition of Brian Enton Investigates. So Jesse Lee Calhoun, who was already charged with killing 3 women in the Portland area and dumping their bodies, has now been charged in a 4th murder. Calhoun is now charged in the November 2022 death of 22-year-old Krisin Smith. He's already been charged in the deaths of Charity Perry, Bridget Webster, and Joanna Speaks. And what's so frustrating about these cases is initially the police were saying that none of them were connected, which it turns out it's the total opposite. Also, I've been talking to these moms for more than a year, the moms of the victims. They were getting the runaround for so long.
And I have photographs of all of this stuff before they demoed and cleaned it out too.
Wow, so there's a whole compound back here.
Yep, this is a little broken down shed. All of this fencing was not here. This little barn area had a bunch of like broken zip ties. One loop, another loop, tied together.
Wow.
See where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
I found all that there. This is the house where he would bring girls in and he showed her.
Jesse Calhoun.
Jesse
Yeah.
Calhoun showed Krista this house. And that's the shed that had personal belongings in it. This is where Krista took me. See the sleeping bags? Looks like a fire pit in the middle.
Can we look in here? Do you mind?
I don't care.
Yeah. Will you come too? Are you
scared? Do you want me to hold
No,
your
I'm
hand?
not scared. I just wanted you to. I just wanted to see.
I'm such a smart aleck.
Is this the same stuff that was here last time you came?
There's a lot missing. There was a ton of clothes. I have photos of it all. There was coffee. There was liquor bottles. All kinds of stuff. Books, CDs, sleeping bag, pillows.
Have you looked to see if anything may have belonged to Kristen?
I have dug through everything on this property.
So Melissa took me
I'm
out.
redneck country. I got this.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Can we go in?
Yeah. So you want to go this way?
Yeah.
This way?
Let's go this
Yeah.
way. Yeah. So we're under the road here,
Yes, we're under Interstate 84.
and there's graffiti. I mean, it's.
Everywhere.
Do you know? I mean, do you think your daughter was alive when it got to this point?
I honestly don't. I don't think that she died here. I think she was placed in this area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did she ever come out to this? Would she have any reason to be out in this area?
No, she wasn't a person who drove, and I was given enough detail to know that there's no way she walked here.
Yeah. It's a long way from Portland.
Yeah. And she didn't have shoes. So besides it being cold, that they would have been able to tell by her feet that she had walked this far.
Yeah, more graffiti over here.
Yeah, yes, everywhere. We came out here and really did think that we found where she had been. I still don't know, of course, how she was positioned. I just know that they worked really hard to hide her. That I almost.
This is the location where Jesse Calhoun's girlfriend shows the creator Veli Ray, whom I am thankful of the footage of the area of the crime. All the props to Veli and on-the-ground coverage of this case. This is an absolute trash can with all the broken down boards and trash everywhere. It was a site where Jesse felt safe and where he would kill. It is rumored that he would write his name on a trash bag as he placed it over the women's faces as he was about to kill them. This is the location where Jesse Calhoun's girlfriend shows the creator Veli Ray, whom I am thankful of the footage of the area of the crime. All the props to Veli and on-the-ground coverage of this case. This is an absolute trash can with all the broken down boards and trash everywhere. It was a site where Jesse felt safe and where he would kill. It is rumored that he would write his name on a trash bag as he placed it over the women's faces as he was about to kill them. Thank you so much for watching the update on the Jesse Calhoun case. My name is 12 Gauge, and this is 12 Gauge Investigative. I want to thank Veli Ray. His channel is on YouTube. Go sub and share, like. Brian Entin with his coverage, and the families of all the women who lost their lives at the hands of this killer.